Alright guys, hello. This is Chris coming at you with another video of Kerbal Space Program. Well, one of our first videos, to be honest, with Turtle Ninja. So we're just gonna make a video for nice and quick about this game. We're probably gonna leave a link in the description on where to get this game. It's very easy.
We will leave.
Yeah, we will leave. So this game is actually in its very early stages of development. It's currently we're playing version 0.13.3. I don't know if I said that right, but this is just a tutorial video on how to play the game itself. So you're gonna hit start, you're gonna come to here, your assembly building. Off the bat, you're gonna be given to choose a command module. Now right now there's only one, but in the future we believe that there will be probably more. So, off the bat, this is your symmetry, and I'll get back to that in a while.
You do realize you say off the bat a lot, right?
Okay, well, that's my word. People say, let's quickly do this, okay, whatever. Okay, whatever. So, off the bat, again, I'm going to try not to say that. You get a command module, and this is where your Kerbal people will be in, basically your last stage. Now, scrolling up will move the mouse up. Holding down right-click and swiping across the screen will rotate you any degree you want around your ship, and clicking on your command module and scrolling up is to move the whole ship. So I'm just gonna put it there. You should let's just get a quick run through. Fuel tanks, pretty self-explanatory. They're used for fuel for your liquid fuel engine and your other liquid fuel engine. This fuel engine here is powerful, but it eats up fuel like crazy. This one, right, well, not like crazy. This one here eats up a little less fuel, but it's more for control. It controls your rocket much better. This one, I'll get back to, your RCS fuel tank. These are boosters. Pretty straightforward. They don't run on fuel tanks. They have fuel in them themselves, but they boost up your rocket quite a bit. They're normally used for departure when you're lifting off, because they are very strong and they can get a heavy rocket off the ground. You have your advanced SCS module that is used like a computer guidance system. Whatever you do, don't use this one. This one, when you use this one and you put it at the very beginning of your ship, it works for the whole ship. This one, you have to put it at each separation of the ship, each stage. So, or rocket, sorry, not ship. Why did I say ship? Okay, well, rocket.
It's a ship, dude.
Yeah, whatever. And this is a thruster for your RCS. Now, when I said this fuel tank, when I said I'll get back to this fuel tank can only be used with these RCSs. Now, what these are is when you're in orbit or in space or further in the atmosphere, these are used to control your rocket to rotate and pitch to the left or right when you're in space, because they're like little thrusters and they basically rotate your rocket, but they can only be used with this fuel. Getting into the structures, you have fuel lines that are used when you want to transport fuel from fuel tanks. But the funny thing about this is if I were to put a fuel tank on my rocket like that, and if I were to put a second one attached to that by nothing, these two would share the fuel. Like, I would be using two fuel tanks right now. So the fuel conductor line thing bobber, you only really use them when you're using these things, and this is perfectly where I'm going to get to right now. But before I show you this, these are couplers. Couplers are basically to separate your stage. When I put that on, as you can see, it added a stage down here. I'll take that off. It takes off a stage. Well, there, it takes us off a stage. Couplers are for different stages, meaning if I had like this is very...
Chris?
Yeah?
I got a question. You know the tri-coupler things?
Yeah, tri-couplers? What about them?
Do they count as a coupler?
No, you have to put a coupler over them.
Okay.
Alright, so continuing the tutorial, if I were to hit space, that's to activate your couplers or activate your rockets. If I were to hit space like this coupler would detach, and then this would be the remaining part of my rocket. So that's how it works. But these are used, these ones right here, are used as the same thing. But these are like the vertical version of couplers. What they do is if I put fuel tank on the side of it, I kind of got to rotate it. If I were to put a fuel tank right there, if I can get that to work. If I were to put a fuel tank right there and hit space, this piece right here would, if I can grab it, this piece right here would click off like that, and then this would be the remaining piece of my rocket. Continuing into other things, coupler went through. The tri-stack coupler thing, pretty self-explanatory. You would put it under here, and you could stack 3 different types of fuel tanks or boosters or whatever you're going to put under there. But I would like to use this for a little example of using the symmetry. Now, the symmetry right now it's at 1 dot, so if I were to put 1 fuel tank up there, it would click under there like that and be 1. If I were to take that down, click this twice, it would become 3, and when that becomes 3, you would click that on, and it would automatically put 3 fuel tanks on. And this can go up to, my knowledge, 4, 6, 8, I think that's 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, yeah, that's 8, and then it goes back to 1. Put that away. Now, put the tricoupler away. Up next. And our thing, we have the support beams for the struts. When your rocket is very big, it needs struts to keep it together, or else it will wobble and destroy itself. Fins, these ones I use for more of control. When you're using WASD, WASD, to move. These winglets right here will actually help you move your ship, move your rocket, sorry. These ones are the same thing, but in the description they say that nothing is really known about these things. So, use them at your own risk, test them out, see how they are, leave them in comment. Now, last but not least, you have the parachute that would go on top of your command module that you would hit space to use when you're at your last final stage. Right now, currently in this, there's no decal or no crew that you can use for now, because it's early stages of the game. So I'm going to make a very, very basic rocket to see
it's getting better than mine.
how we're doing. So, off the bat, you want to start with a coupler.
You said it again.
Off the bat, we're going to start with a coupler, because we need to separate the stage for when we're landing.
Start something different. Off the hockey stick.
Not a booster, what am I doing? We'll put 1 fuel tank, 1 powerful rocket to get us pretty high. That's going to be our second last stage. I mean, yeah, you get what I mean. Second stage. We'll put another coupler to get the stage of boosting us off the ground. That will be this stage. Oh no, with a booster. With a booster. So this is going to be our last stage, second last, and this is going to be our third last. This first stage, second stage, last stage. This will be getting us off the ground. This will be flying us. Now this is a very basic rocket, so don't go copying this and hoping that you're going to get to the moon, because it's not going to happen. And yeah, so let's go launch. Now off the bat, again, I said that this is your altitude, where you are in the atmosphere, stages. This is kind of your pitch and how you're going. If I were to hit T, it starts up your SAS force. And wow, I completely forgot to put a SAS force. So, I think, wow.
You gotta wing it.
Again, I made a mistake. So let's take that off and put the advanced SAS force there. Now what that does is this helps the whole ship to keep control. So if I'm pointing up and I hit T to activate my SAS force / computer guidance, that will help the whole ship stay in line with how I want it to be. So if I hit T, as you can see, the force is starting to work, and it's working very, very minimal. Nothing's really pushing the ship. Shift is to go throttle up and throttle down, as you can see there. M is to view your map. R is to activate your little rockets that I've shown you for when you go in the atmosphere. That would be shown right in there. Altitude, your little Kerbal people. And we're ready to launch. Keep in mind that your boosters do not run off throttle. So if my throttle is high or in the middle, and my throttle, like right now, I'll put my throttle to 0. And by the way, if you hit X, all throttle goes to 0. If I hit my throttle to 0 and hit space to start my rocket flying, my booster's working at full force right now, because that's how boosters are. But I'm going to put my throttle high to get prepared for when I'm at my second stage. So my fuel is going down. As you can see, it's overheating. Now, overheating does usually take an effect, or it doesn't take an effect at all, until it reaches its limit and the rocket will explode. Right now, I'm not slowing down, nothing's happening. So when this is done, I'm going to hit space to detach that, and hit space to start my second rocket. So now my second rocket's going. It's going to continue to fly up, my altitude's going to climb, and my fuel's going to go down. So, continuing, let's just say that my rocket ran out of fuel, so I'm just going to turn all my throttle down. Say it's out of fuel. I would detach my, my command module, that if you actually hit, this piece right here, you can actually kill your Kerbal people. So now my, altitude is starting to go down, as you can hear from the noise of the wind hitting it. If you hit space, that's how you activate your parachute, as you can see. Hit space, boom, there goes my parachute. Right now it's kind of just dragging to slow me down. Here's your G-force meter, forgot to tell you that. If your G-force is at red and you hit the ground, or if your G-force is at red and you deploy your parachute more lower around close to the surface and you're coming from the atmosphere, you'll be coming in really fast and you could explode your command module on contact. Up here is your time. In Kerbal time, real life, it's different. You can actually speed up the process by warping twice, but right now I can't warp anymore because I'm not in the atmosphere. So I'm gonna warp to normal number 1. As you can see, my parachute automatically opens for me when I'm near the ground. I'll just warp twice so we can just get to the ground quite fast. Almost there. And we're there. So then when you hit the ground, boom, you're done. You would hit escape and hit end flight to see all you. I lifted off correctly. I separate my stage separated correctly. My second stage successfully also separated. Then right here is my distance that I've traveled, how fast I was going. How much time was I in the air? It's all good stuff to know. And you would hit vehicle assembly to go back to your rocket if you want to change it.
Yes, I'm going up straight.
Alright, so that really concludes our tutorial
where'd you go?
on how to build play Kerbal space program. I will in the future, maybe with Turtle Ninja, be making more videos on maybe me getting to the moon, me failing, bunch of rocket designs, show you how to make one of my best rockets in the future. So I'll do that.
Yeah, I'd like that.
Yeah. Please comment, rate, and subscribe, and keep in mind this is one of our first videos, so try not to be haters on us. And I guess I will see you guys in the future and talk to you guys later.
Thank you for
watching.